Hey everybody, this is Taylor Edrington with Royal Gorge Anglers in Canyon City, Colorado, the oldest fly shop and fly fishing guide service and only Orvis endorsed outfitter on the entire Arkansas River Basin. Thanks so much for viewing today. We are now moving into the early fall season. One of our true favorites on the Arkansas River Basin, as well as on all of our venues in south central, and central Colorado. It's kind of a relief to move into this window every year. You've got a couple usually hot weeks in the middle of August, and we do see flows reduce dramatically. Within our flow management program on the Arkansas River Basin, the Upper Arkansas, we do see that voluntary flow management program reduce its flows out of Twin Lakes on August 15th. So we move kind of, from a 7 to 800 CFS level in Bighorn Canyon at the Wellsville gauge to a 300 CFS level. Currently, we're in that 300 window in Bighorn Canyon, which is just really exceptional for wading. But we do like to have cooler air temps and cooler overnight lows in order to keep water temperatures where they need to be for that trout population to stay healthy and for you, the angler, to be able to get out and enjoy the fishery without harming the resource. We are seeing that coincide. We're seeing really cool overnight lows, in fact, nearing the freezing point here the last couple nights in Leadville, which is the headwater of the Arkansas. So that's where all our water's coming from. Water temp is reducing relatively dramatically in that upper basin section, which helps things out tremendously from Salida downstream through Canyon City. And we're even seeing overnight lows in the upper 40s and here in Canyon City, which is great. I believe this week, moving into the month of September, we're going to have highs in the low 80s and some in the 70s, which is kind of a breath of fresh air. So as we move through September and into October, obviously, our overnight lows and daytime highs are becoming cooler, more enjoyable to stay out there throughout the day, more productive to stay out there throughout the day. We go from a time period where it's really early and late. Those are your best windows of opportunity to catch fish, especially if you want a dry dropper or dry fly fish. And we move into the fall time period where we do see more productivity throughout the day, which is excellent. Now, these first few weeks of September, I do recommend still, getting out early and late. We will have daylight saving time coming up. So just keep that in mind. That will affect our hours a little bit. But, long story short, the fall is just an exceptional time to enjoy the upper Arkansas Basin, the, middle Arkansas Basin from Salida to Canyon City, as well as the Arkansas tailwater, which we'll touch on briefly. Moving forward, expect for flows to be in that kind of ideal walk wade range, in that probably 250 to 350 CFS range. That will sustain through the fall, and we will see hopefully some rain here and there to keep some moisture going, to keep some native flow, from our tributaries coming into the river, and kind of keeping the water up a little bit. There is a chance that we come into the low 200s, just purely native flow, but that with cooling water and cooling air temps will not be an issue as we move through September and October. Then, as we move out of the fall time period, we, into the winter time period, just talking a little bit about how our flow program works, we will see flows increase for the winter VFMP, the Voluntary Flow Management Program winter portion will start up, and we will see flows, usually in the 450 to 550 range in Bighorn Canyon, in attempt to move water downstream in anticipation of snow next spring. So really just an interesting piece of what goes on the Arkansas, and that is all focused on not only water movement downstream for irrigation demands and everything else and front range use, but primarily for the fishery and for recreational boating. Really a cool program, our voluntary flow management program on the Arkansas. So as far as the bugs we're looking at, it's really a continuation of heavy red quill activity. We've seen pseudoklingons, our fall Batis, BWO. We've seen activity in that segment for really about a month, but that will continue to ramp up. As many of you may know that have been fishing the Arkansas really heavily the last couple of years, we are a BWO river now. There are a lot of Batis, and so we expect just a ramp up of that fall BWO activity. And of course, on overcast days, we're seeing a lot of bugs on the water and a lot of life cycle activity. And obviously, your nymphs will be key day in and day out. Immature stoneflies, cranefly larvae, we are seeing some cranefly dries out there, just a handful, but that's fun to play around with. And then the streamer activity is phenomenal as we go into the fall, because what we see our brown trout population, which is typically anywhere from 80 to 90% of the trout population on the Arkansas freestone. They are moving into pre-spawn in the spawning time period in October, late September, October. So they are very opportunistic, and streamers obviously fit that segment. Hopper, dropper, dry dropper rigs will continue to be very productive in low light hours as that brown trout population looks to gain calories going into spawning. So let's take a peek here just briefly at a few patterns that you might find in our guides boxes as we move into the fall season. Okay, folks, so this is kind of a sneak peek at kind of what our guide boxes would look like moving into the fall time period. Like I mentioned, continuation of dry dropper activity, especially early and late. And then double nymphing, Euro nymphing comes into play really throughout the day. If you really want to get into a pile of fish, just nymphing will bode very well for you. And then obviously in the high light time periods when the sun's high, if we don't have any overcast conditions, nymphing will be key for you. And obviously got some hatch matching dries mixed in that fourth column. And our streamers are going to be obviously just a breadwinner for us in the fall time period, with our brown trout population being pre-spawn and as we move into the spawning time period. So we'll touch on those as well. Starting out, let's look at a few attractor dries on the far left. These will be for dry dropper rigs primarily, but you could fish them single if you wanted to. Let's start out with our red chubby. This we like in 14-16, but red is a key body color as we move into the fall. Here's a new one. This is a stubby chubby in a purple body, one of our true favorites here recently. That's just a short chubby And purple's excellent. Here's another purple. This is Andrew Grillos' Dancin' Ricky, just a great attractor dry. This is our Amy's Ant, which is a true breadwinner for us through the summer and into the fall. This is the red-bodied Amy's Ant, okay? Got a 409. This is Jaeger's 409 red body, okay? So visibility is key on all of these. You know, you can see that great wing. You know, we can see these. They're great supporters when we're running weight underneath. As we move into our lead or point Euro nymphing flies for double nymph rigs, starting out with a Guide's Choice hare's ear tied on a jig hook. That's one of our favorites for Euro nymphing. Got a Psycho Prince. This would be a great Western nymphing or Euro nymphing fly with the rubber legs. Again, going back to purple, just a key color for us in the fall. Charlie Craven's 2-bit stone, just a true great imitation for our golden stone fly populations. And the stones we're seeing are relatively immature right now, and so 14-16s on these. Again, a tongue stone. This is John Barr's, another great immature stone fly for a lead fly and a double nymph rig. Another Euro nymphing fly. This is a Mocheck crane. A lot of crane fly nymphs in Bighorn Canyon and the Canyon City area, especially. Here's your CZ crane. We're fishing both of these in olive and tan, okay? Moving into our dropper nymphs, we've got our red 2-bit hooker, Charlie Craven's. This is gonna be a key red quill imitation in the nymph category. Shag Uncle's Radiation Baetis in a copper orange. We've got our Shag Uncle's Shot Glass Baetis purple, gonna be a key pseudo Klingon fall BWO nymph. One of our true breadwinners, Juan Ramirez's Slim Shady in the splitback version for another BWO imitation. Really an uptick in caddis activity. A lot of October caddis and tan caddis, free swimmers mostly kicking around. This is Barr's uncased caddis, okay? This is gonna be Shag Uncle's roller caddis, okay, size 14 or 16. This is our magic flies or our ice queens for our trico nymphs, either one. This is our ice queen with the tungsten bead. A lot of trico nymphs in the water column right now. Return to midge fishing. This is our Juan Ramirez's flux capacitor, and I really like this fly. You know, it's a great imitation and very, very durable. One of my favorite midge larvae. This is going to be our devil's midge here, and this guy will continue to be a producer for us, you know, as we move into the late fall. But just a few midge imitations to choose from there. You've got some red quill spinners out there, obviously, with heavy red quill activity. This is called the Spin Doctor. This is Andrew Grillos' pattern. This is a new imitation. This is a missing link in a red quill spinner. Just a really great fly. And their new term for this fly is called the found link. But we've really done well with this fly here the last couple weeks, and that will continue. We've got a split flag in the pseudo Klingon category, are BWOs. So split flag is going to be a great fly for you in an 18-20. As those guys hatch, especially on overcast days, this is going to be your low water Baetis. Okay. Your Iguanodon trico. This trico is going to be key for you. Just really easy to see, and the fish aren't quite as picky on tricos on the Arkansas as they are on the South Platte. So this will be a great one for you. Caddis, like I said, a lot of tan caddis kicking around. This is a tan front end loader, okay? Then we do have some October caddis coming in late September, October, so a little bit larger bodies, you know, size 12, 14 on these, okay? Midge dries, this is Theo's melting pot midge. You always want to have some of these on hand as we go into the fall, okay? And then our streamers, you know, I really want to touch on this pattern as it's kind of a newer fly, but we've just really been hammering fish on this this summer. And this is Charlie Craven's swim coach. This is your olive baby swim coach. This is your purple baby swim coach. Excellent to fish on their own or to fish as a lead fly in a tandem rig. Great movement. Very, very visible to fish and has been a great one for us. Another great one is this Peanut Envy. This is Kelly Gallup's fly, olive and black. Those are the two colors I like. And then, you know, just remember, we're going into pre-spawn. So for trailers in a tandem streamer rig, I like to run baby fish imitation, baby trout, you know, fry imitations. The brown trout population gets very, very territorial as we go into pre-spawn. So running something like this, a big guy up front, trailing a little guy underneath, short trail, you know, 4 to 6 inch drop from the bend of the hook on one of these big guys, that will really be a successful rig for you if you want to go out and cover water and enjoy some streamer fishing. Give you some great opportunities at finding some really, really nice fish out there. So again, this is kind of what we're looking at as we go into the fall time period on the Arkansas Freestone, and a lot of crossover here on the Arkansas tailwater, especially within the Trico, Midge, Caddis categories. Those are going to be our breadwinners down there. Okay, guys, so hopefully just a brief look at some of our kind of key patterns and talking a little bit about how we rig them for the fall season will be helpful to you. Obviously, if you have any in-depth questions, you can email us or call us at any point in time, 888-994-6743. Extension 1 for the fly shop, extension 2 for the guide office, or email us at info@royalgorgeanglers.com. We look forward to a fantastic fall season here, and do remember that all of the flies that we talked about are available on our web store in 3-packs, 2-packs on our streamers, and that is available at royalgorgeanglers.com. 24 hours a day, you can browse through that stuff, and we do have free shipping over $50. So if you live on the Front Range, usually 1 to 2 day delivery. If you live out of state, 2 to 3 day delivery on all that stuff. Or we'd love to see you in the fly shop. Obviously, we are open for in-store shopping, 8 a.m. through 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. through noon on Sunday. Through the fall season. So we would love to see you stop by the fly shop. We've got some fantastic new sportswear and fall gear here at the fly shop, fully stocked on rods, leader and tippet, which I know has been a hurdle here this season with everybody, this mad rush to get into outdoor industry sports. It's just been a very interesting year. And so that being said, also, if you are looking for a guided trip here as we move into this fantastic fall season, we are as busy as we've ever been in the months of September and October already. So it will be key for you to get a day on the books early if you want to do that. We are primarily running wades right now, obviously with lower flows in the sub 300 CFS range on the upper river and sub 300 CFS range on the Arkansas tailwater. but we are having some fantastic days out there, and that will just, only continue as the weather gets cooler and our trout population goes into pre-spawn. Just an exceptional time to be in Colorado. Enjoy the colors with the fall foliage and get out on a trout stream. So do give us a call if you are interested in a guided adventure. We have private property opportunities and of course guide on over 100 miles of the Arkansas. You can reach us again at 888-994-6743, extension 2 for the guide office, extension 1 for the fly shop. Thanks so much for viewing today. Please let us know if you have any questions. We would love to see you in the fly shop or hear from you with a call or an email or on our chat line at royalgorgeanglers.com. Have a very exciting fall season. Hope you get out on the water as much as you can. Get out and enjoy friends and family and stay outdoors. That's a very safe place to be right now. And please let us know if you need any assistance in the meantime. Thanks so much for viewing, and we hope you have a great day on the water.